Vi är ordentligt fredsskadade. Vi fattar inte riktigt att det här är ett krig som högst aktuellt drabbar oss. Det här är inte Ukraina mot Ryssland, det här är västvärlden mot Ryssland. At the start of the, not the start of the war, but at the escalation in February, me and quite a lot of Swedish guys felt, okay, we want to go down, we have to do something. We can't really just sit back home and do nothing. So I went to the Ukrainian embassy here in Stockholm and okay, well, I'm former military and I've been working as a systems consultant the last years. I have some background in coordinating. Is there anything I can do to help? Basically the response was yes, absolutely, we appreciate it, but we can't help you to help us because we have a lot of other things to do right now. So I was basically given the number for a WhatsApp group, a big WhatsApp group with hundreds of people, and it was just absolute chaos. I'm a systems officer, I have to do something about this. So we created a system and started trying to coordinate people. Okay, so what is your background? What can you do? What would you like to do? And is it reasonable that you do it? We were trying to basically find the best approach to how we would efficiently use these resources that are the people I want to help. Out of 600 people who wanted to help in some capacity, 150 or something like that were, well, relevant for military duty. And out of those 150, we decided to send 25 guys in before the end of March. Currently, we're a part of a territorial defense brigade, which is supporting a mechanized brigade. So that's basically how it works. And we are an operational resource, which means that we don't really answer to the battalion. We answer to the brigade commander. And what we do is we offer a specific skill set in a limited time, in a limited capacity. I'm the second commander of the unit. The previous commander of the unit, he died in July. There was a Russian assault that I'm not going to go into the background of it, but basically the unit that Edvard and the other guys were with, they were assaulted by enemy tanks. During the counteroffensive, basically a combat patrol meant to go out and delay the assault, as I understood it, kind of mixed with a recon combat assault. It was very sudden, on the spot. Oh, we have to do something now. We need guys who are capable. Oh, okay, you Western guys, you know how to use an NLAW, right? Okay, well, here you go. Like, it's now or never. And during this counteroffensive, Edvard died. He was killed in action. He was hit by a large shell and died instantly. The medical system does not work. There is not enough resources. There is not enough medics, not enough medical supplies. There is not enough medevac or casevac. And when it comes to casualties, you have to think about, okay, well, people have actually died, and as well as people have been injured and are unable to keep on fighting. There are a lot of those that could have been prevented if there was a working medical system in the brigade structure. Okay, we're going to set up a medical platoon. We're going to set up procedures. We're going to teach these procedures, and we're going to spread the knowledge. It's not difficult, like I said, to find soldiers. It's not difficult to find drivers or escorts. What's difficult is to find medics. And it's difficult to find people who want to do the administrative work. Because, I mean, there is no real glory in being a paper pusher. But it's also the only thing that makes it work. If we can set up a medical platoon, well, that is kind of an achievement. If we can prove to the brigade and the rest of the, well, everyone, okay, this is actually doable. It can be done. Maybe we can motivate someone else to do something similar, who can receive a lot more funding and maybe even plan before being in the country. I mean, the whole idea was just to create a foundation for the next guy. I mean, I'm a second lieutenant. I shouldn't be a company commander for a volunteer force in Ukraine. That is absolutely absurd. Someone else should be doing that, but that someone else never really arrives. So once the medical platoon is done, well, we're going to create a recon platoon. maybe a combat engineering platoon, maybe, well, basically whatever the brigade needs. It's not so much about what we want to do, but what do they need? If you're not actively at the front line, you get €1,000 a month. When you're at the front line, it's 3,000. But that money needs to go to everything. It just kind of has to, because nothing works. And the infrastructure has been destroyed. And if you're not given a car, well, you're gonna have to get a car. You receive some weird steel plate instead of ballistic. Well, that sounds like a you problem. Some guys got paid, some guys didn't get paid. Some guys received donations. Some of my guys are about to go into personal bankruptcy because they've been here since February or March. Everyone was just using their own savings. If I don't fix this for them, I'm their commander, it's my responsibility really to at least try, then I'm gonna lose them because they're gonna have to go back home in order to not become homeless. The foundations of a good organization is what creates an efficient fighting force. It's not the individual soldier, it really isn't. It's all about using your resources more efficiently than the enemy. It's great to receive 10 bandages from Sweden, but just that and the transport cost, we can get 20 in Ukraine if we just buy it on the spot. So money is better. It's also easier to pay for diesel and fuel and repairs. I'm not sure which camera I'm supposed to look into now when I'm saying this, but we need all the help we can get. We really do. If you have previous military experience and you want to join, welcome. If you're a mechanic, well, if you want to be in the background and fix our ambulances, you're more than welcome. That's also a thing you can do. If you have previous knowledge of administrative work, please reach out. Like it will help. There are a lot of ways that you can help. It's not only about shooting a rifle. It's not even half of it. It's a fraction of what is war. There's so many other ways that you can contribute. If you go to 312e.se, so 312.se, then you can find our form and you can fill in it, and we'll reach out to you and tell you exactly how you need to do things and the procedures. If you're not, due to tax reasons or whatever, not allowed to send too big monetary gifts, well, then please reach out to Blue and Yellow, which is an NGO. I don't know, maybe it changes, and in that case you can absolutely donate to them and just write down that this is for the Swedish guys, and they will make sure that it goes to the budget meant for our medical supplies and all the things that we need.
This is a very, very important thing to understand. We are at war with Russia. Okay, it may be in Ukraine, there may be no Russian tanks or troops or whatever in Sweden or somewhere. We are at war. Russia is challenging everything we stand for. And if we don't deal with that, if we let it pass, let it go somehow, again, in Ukraine or also in other ways, we will have serious problems in the future. So we have to change it. We have to take the fight. We have no choice. Anybody from Europe or somebody else that goes to Ukraine to help the Ukrainians to fight, to support them is a source not only of direct support, but also of a better understanding of what is going on, what Russia is up to, who's the enemy, how can you counter, how can you fight that kind of enemy in this war or maybe in another war.
Blue and Yellow is Lithuanian. He has helped us get a car. So, okay, awesome. We were able to receive a pickup. We can use it for casevacs. Either just put in as many people as needed or put them on stretchers. Blue and Yellow is going to help us to talk to the right people and just help us administratively to set up a bank account in Ukraine. Blåljus i samverkan. They are getting us jaws of life, which is basically hydraulic scissors you use to cut up vehicles. Because, well, most of the vehicles at the front line are civilian cars, because there aren't enough armored ones, and you need to cut up the cars in order to access to personnel, the people in it. I mean, those are not cheap. So we're super grateful And I know that my chief medical, he's going to be super happy. So there are people who help us, and we really appreciate it. We really, really do. Everything we get. We received help from a law firm, and they really did help us. Vinge, pro bono, and they've been awesome just in helping us understand, like, are we allowed to go? Before we went there, basically, as we understood, it's a 50-50 if we're going to be put in the same category as ISIS, from a legal sense. Even if it's two completely different things. I mean, Swedish bureaucracy is Swedish bureaucracy. It's almost as impossibly stupid as Ukrainian one. So it's very difficult to do anything that isn't exactly as it is written down on paper, which is why everything takes so damn long. From a Swedish army perspective, absolute, like, just basic things that should work, well, we have to create them, and that takes time. It's absolutely amazing, the bravery that you can see at the soldier level of the Ukrainians. It's absolutely inspiring. We're appreciated. We are greatly appreciated, and it's absolutely wonderful to get the feedback. Actually, just being with the Ukrainians, it is absolutely amazing how hardcore they are. You can sit in the city and it's like, oh, okay, well, drones are coming. People just keep on drinking their coffee. Like, yeah, we're used to it now. It is what it is. So, like, we're not going to be able to change it. You wake up at 2 and okay, it's Shahida against goddamn mopeds, and you go back to sleep, because it's not that you accept your fate. It's not about that. It's just that I have other shit to think about. I can't really spend any more time thinking about what happens if. I have too much work to do. I can't get distracted by that. I think that's really what's happening. And people need to go on with their lives. It's super meaningful. And that is something that is difficult to find for generation millennial and the Zoomers. It's difficult because, well, we're basically born into something that was the dream of just awesomeness becoming awesome, that became, well, nothing's gonna work, the world is ending, climate change, that's the thing, it's on you guys, good luck. Just finding meaning is not that easy. Meaning is a jumper you have to stitch yourself. If you can help someone, you should. I mean, it's like Mufasa says in The Lion King. I mean, the only time you can be brave is when you are scared. And a lot of the soldier mentality, at least a part of it, I mean, that is duty, it's bravery, it's honor, it's all those things. And for some of the guys, well, this is a perfect opportunity. This is what I've always been striving for. This is the values of the valiant knight, really. No guts, no glory. I absolutely see that point as well, but I would say when it comes to my guys, at least, it's mostly, at least what I can identify, it is, well, empathy is the foundation for the reasoning. When it comes to war, it's usually, traditionally at least, with some exceptions, it's difficult to say who's in the wrong. Like, this is assault and rape. It's kind of easy to see who the bad guy is. And it's not just a war between Ukraine and Russia. And that is something that a lot of Western people don't seem to realize, that this is a hybrid war that has been going on from 2014. The only thing that has really changed is that there has been a huge physical escalation within the borders of Ukraine. I mean, this is still an energy war. This is still a financial war, it's still a culture war, this is still a cyber war. I mean, there's a lot of things happening in the background that you don't necessarily realize is happening, but it's still there. This is a full-on war between the Western world and Russia. It's just that the physical violence is currently limited to Ukraine. So I mean, this is my war as well. This is not Ukraine's war. Yeah, the Western world isn't perfect, but if you respect it in any manner and find its values, its democracy, if you can see that, well, it's better than nothing, well, then it's your absolute duty to protect it. Why is the whole Western world versus Russia only physically affecting Ukrainians? That is not fair. We have to take our share of it. Ukraine has to defeat Russia militarily in Ukraine. Has to. There is no other alternative.